Beastork got the nickname the Hype Killer because there were instances where we had these top tier Oceanic players sign up for the first time. One of them was Probe, the other was Risky, and both times that they signed up, they faced off against Beastork in the first round, and Beastork knocked them down.
I think it was the same. No, it was different tournaments.
Different tournament, yeah.
Yeah.
And they never signed up again.
Yep.
One and done. Beastork just he's the gatekeeper. He made sure that they could not get in. You have to be at least this tall, at least this much ape inside you if you want to play in this tournament.
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
But we are here now with players who could do it, players who have signed up very, very regularly in the Grand Platypus Open, who have won more than their fair share of this tournament. We have in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner, our red Zerg player coming down from the land of India. He is the Shark himself, representing Matcherino Esports. He is Demi.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the last king of the sea. We have the Vietnamese Zerg player, the blue Zerg, fighting his way through the lower brackets. It is MeomaikA. I'm gonna very, very quickly try to set up some predictions for this series. Very quickly.
Yes, nothing has happened yet. Do not fret at all. We do see that MeomaikA is going for a bit of a 15 pool. Demi, on the other hand, go for more of a traditional hatch gas pool from his end. Nice little gentleman's agreement going on here with our players. So yeah, this is still going to be a fair prediction process that is going to be coming down here with our two Zerg players here in our lower bracket finals here. As of when you hear this,
yeah, it's
close. 3 minutes. Close. Lock it up.
Yikes.
Lock it in.
Lock it up. Lock it down. And when you hear this message, it's too late. Predictions are open. Well, they were open, so hope you place your bets.
Yeah.
Hope you were paying attention to the chat.
You have 0 minutes.
Oh god. As you mentioned, MeomaikA did go for a safer opener. This is something that he does very often against Protoss, against Terran, and even against Zerg, where he goes for a faster spawning pool. This doesn't have to lead to an all-in. It definitely can, but for the most part, MeomaikA, he gets an early queen, he gets early lings, and he just is able to have a safe start to the game.
Yeah, I would have thought that he'd be a bit more averse to going for an all-in after how his previous encounter with Demi went.
Ooh, exactly, as it looks like MeomaikA will get one drone with these lings. Already a good start for MeomaikA. He does take a slight worker lead as a result. Meanwhile, Demi throws down a very fast bathing nest hidden in the main base.
Yeah, so something tells me that this isn't just going to be for defense here.
Oh no!
That looks like a misplaced hatchery.
That is off center. The hatchery was thrown down in a haphazard manner. Demi a little bit frazzled as he does lose an overlord across the map to this queen. So a little bit unfortunate there from Demi, but he may decide to go all in anyway. We'll see how he makes use of these banelings, as MeomaikA is staying on 2 bases and making a little links.
There's a question, Light. Why can't Zerg buildings burrow?
True.
Why don't they have tunneling claws?
Burrow?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say something that makes more sense is why can't all Zerg buildings uproot like spine crawlers and spore crawlers?
No. No. It's too mainstream, as we do have a little bit of a Zerg skirmish going on here. And MeomaikA will be chased away. Demi gonna be able to keep his off-center hatchery.
Yeah, it does manage to stand strong. Meanwhile, in the center of the map, more of these overlords are being hunted down. MeomaikA, it did go for a bit of a roach rush. 9 roaches are on the way. Again, there is no third base for Meo.
And we said that this 15 pool doesn't have to be an all-in, but it's looking to be that way here from MeomaikA.
Yeah, exactly. He's even throwing down a Baneling Nest as well, which will help support these roaches against the mass amount of lings that Demi's going to have. Demi, thankfully, does have his own roach warren on the way, so he has access to roaches, but will he have enough in time? Because MeomaikA, his cutting workers at 29, he is not transitioning out of this. He is just going all in, sending everything across the map, even the queens.
Even the queens. If you can get some overlords throwing down creep, he will have an ability to set up a bit of a transfuse point. It is only 2 queens, so their transfuses are a little bit limited, but the main thing is that they are going to be able to soak up some damage. They are going to be able to dish out a little bit of damage. Maybe best case scenario, even a sniper baneling or 2.
Oh, yeah, exactly. As we do see the Banelings getting ready here for MeomaikA as well, looking to push on for the queens. Have arrived their own creep. They can transfuse as well.
And they will be able to transfuse some of the roaches, but now they are very much out of transfuse energy. MeomaikA has spent pretty much all of his lings in this assault. Banelings are very, very late to the party. Here comes a lot of ling reinforcements though from Meo.
Yeah, they come in, but here come the reinforcements of Demi as well. It looks like Demi's barely holding on. There's 1 queen and 1 roach remaining here for MeomaikA. And it looks like he is running out of steam. Demi, reading him like a book, is able to shut this down.
Like so. For a very brief moment, MeomaikA was up in army supply, but he just could not group them together in time. He just couldn't send them across the map quick enough.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Just couldn't do it. And we do see MeomaikA, he's going to try and rotate around instead. Going to try to find some other damage, but alas, he will not be able to, as MeomaikA is going to be forced back up. He even takes a Baneling to the face, and we can see MeomaikA is trying to take another base. He's taking gases. He did drone at least a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but he is still very much behind here. Demi is up 13 workers and a full-on base. He's even up in army supply massively. He has delayed his lair a little bit, so that's one thing that MeomaikA really has going for him, is that he will have quicker lair, but Demi's not that far behind.
Exactly, he is not that far behind, especially, at least when it comes to that lair timing, as you were saying. When it comes to the upgrades, the Evo chamber is on the way to eventually get into +1, but Demi, he has just an amazing economy. He's up 10 workers, and the pressure is on MeomaikA to somehow, some way, recovering that worker count. Demi, he scouts across the map, he gets eyes on at least the 3rd base. He sees, though, that it isn't saturated.
Yeah, which is definitely very suspicious here, coming out based on what Demi is able to scout. He was fooled a little bit by Go-Go Joey earlier on, so I think Demi will, take a little bit of precaution and check the other bases anyway, just in case it's a fake out, but as we know, it isn't. And MeomaikA is looking to deal more damage. Beautiful positioning of that Baneling though from Demi. And the lings have pretty much been annihilated.
Yeah, that was an insane hit, and as we can see, MeomaikA is just having a really hard time macroing out of this. He is slowly saturating this 3rd base, but for the most part, he's going to be cutting workers sub 50, and he's just making nothing but roaches. He's still looking to be very aggressive. The other tell is that MeomaikA doesn't have an Evo chamber. There is no Evo chamber. There are no upgrades. He doesn't intend for upgrades to really play too much of a factor in this game.
Yeah, does MeomaikA have Goliath Constitution yet? Not yet. Interestingly enough, he did get a lair a while ago, but he's just been pumping out so many units that I don't think he's been able to get that upgrade.
I think that's an oversight. I think MeomaikA did intend to get roach speed, but without it, it means that this all-in is going to be that much more awkward here for MeomaikA, and Demi's going to have an easier time kiting and dealing with this army, so yeah, a bit of a mistake here for MeomaikA. It could cost him this game. Regardless, even if he had it, he's still in a rough position.
Yeah, it's still going to be a rough position regardless. It's just one thing that could potentially narrow the gap a little bit. Goliath Constitution is now done for Demi, so everything is pretty much going our red Zerg player's way except for the positioning of that hatchery.
Yeah. And on top of that, look, it's fine. Look, the hatchery, what it means that there's more creep out on the map, There's like 1 hex extra creep out here on the ramp, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. I mean, you can't position any spores or spines or anything, but you know what? Your queens can transfuse.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why you wouldn't have your queens that far forward, but...
As MeomaikA, he just got scouted. Demi, he saw how little workers there were at that third base. He knows about the all-in. GG gets called as Meo tries to bust up the ramp, and Demi will take game number 1.
Reading MeomaikA beautifully. Just goes to show that it doesn't matter how you place your hatchery. It's how you utilize it.
It doesn't matter how, it matters who.
How.
Huh?
Yeah. Doesn't matter who. Matters where.
Hmm.
No, it doesn't matter where. It matters how.
I get what you're saying. It's okay. So GG, very well played here by Demi. And hey, you know what? An inefficient mining hatchery is better than a hatchery that has only 9 workers. So, you know, they...
Yeah. It's better to be inefficient than to be not at all.
Exactly. As we're working towards our second game, Demi 1 game away from advancing on to the grand finals. MeomaikA is still the favored player coming into this. You know, we have to put respect where respect is due. MeomaikA is a titan in the scene. Oh boy, and we'll see if he can bring it back.
That we shall. See a lot of support coming out here for MeomaikA in the predictions. Again, he is the heavy favorite coming out here tonight, but Demi has already proven himself once, taking out MeomaikA once this tournament. I don't think it's out of the question for him to do it again.
Exactly. It's not out of this world, and he's already on the road. He already has a lead.
He is over here in the top right-hand corner of altitude. Spotting over here all the way to the top right-hand corner of the map. We have our red Zerg player coming down from the land of India. He, of course, is going to be representing Macherino Esports. We have Demi.
And as we load into the largest map in the map pool, we have a spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of altitude, going for a 12 pool because this is clearly the best map for it. The Vietnamese Zerg player representing Team Gosu, it is MeomaikA.
No one would expect it.
True. You're not wrong. Fun fact, we casted MeomaikA versus Wayne a couple of days ago in OSC King of the Hill in a best of 1, and Meo did the exact same thing on altitude against Wayne.
Yeah. It's becoming a bit of a pattern here for MeomaikA, at least in ZvZ.
Didn't work, but, you know, it's...
Yeah. We'll see if you can break that pattern.
We shall see as we have 8 lings coming out. If I recall correctly, MeomaikA, the 12 pool, of course, it was able to keep Wayne, or maybe would be Demi, back at home, keep him busy, and MeomaikA transitioned into a 2-base roach all-in from that point. Again, 12 pools aren't all-in by any means. You do expand behind them, and there's that hatchery on the way. But even though you expand behind it, these lings, they ideally get some worker damage. They need to help equalize the worker count here between yourself and the opposing player.
How does that saying go? Anything's an all-in once you're done mining? Or once you're done making workers? I think that might apply here. 12 pools aren't all-ins until they are.
There you go. I mean, there are all-in variations, like a 12-pool drone pool, right, where you pull the boys as well. Speaking of the boys, they have to be pulled here to protect this hatchery, and we'll see how many drones can get picked off here. Demi has to be very careful, very meticulous with his drone drilling.
And so far, he doesn't lose a single drone. A couple of the weakened drones, they are a bit more vulnerable now. MeomaikA has decided that this hatchery is not going to go down. He goes after workers instead, and 3 of them do die, so not too bad here for MeomaikA.
Yeah, just like that, the worker count is even. We have even worker counts. The Queen of MeomaikA does move out on the map and is looking to hunt down an Overlord, and this will supply block Demi, so very nicely done here by MeomaikA. He's able to make his 12 pool worth it. Now, the one downside for Meo is that he doesn't have, or he has very limited gas mining. Demi has a much larger gas bank to work with, and he is going into ling speed, and so is Meo.
Yeah, funnily enough, Demi did have a bit of a bigger gas bank, but he actually pulled out of gas, pulled 2 of his workers out of gas and into the mineral line. So, for the time being, actually has a better gas income. Both of them are just, going to get into their standard game, get a tech up, most likely into Mutalisk, if I had to guess, at least from the side of Demi.
2-base lair would not be a bad choice. It would not be a bad choice at all here, especially on a map like Altitude. Mutas are a pretty good option here just because of how much room there is to maneuver around, because of how large the map is. But MeomaikA is going for an all-in. He has a Baneling Nest on the way. His queens are waddling out across the map. They're looking to hunt down the Overlord to keep Demi in the dark as to what Meo is up to, as to the massive amount of lings that are on the way.
Well, as the saying goes, at first it doesn't work, you do it until it does.
And Demi is going to try to get a scout off. He's looking to bypass MeomaikA. MeomaikA is droning, by the way. I was not expecting this, but he does have a lot of lings, yes, but he is making workers behind it.
Huh. So this isn't an all-in yet, coming out from MeomaikA. Could very well transition to an all-in if he just decides to continue flooding lings and banelings across the map, but it wouldn't be a very efficient one, to say the least. I think the most that MeomaikA can do at his position is to just contain Demi onto 2 bases, which looks pretty likely. Demi is taking this very, very seriously, walling off in his natural, and just giving up his third.
Yeah, Demi's reading this as an all-in, and unfortunately Demi skipped his Baneling Nest, so he can't really fight this. Without roaches, he can't really contest against this, so MeomaikA's getting ahead. He has a higher worker count, he has a 3rd base on the way, he's throwing down 2 Evo chambers, getting his gases. MeomaikA, he was able to sell a story, and to be fair, a story that maybe would have gone out of control here. Maybe Demi wouldn't have been able to deal with it, but MeomaikA, he's taking a lead.
Yeah. He sold a story about going all in, but as we can see, he's not all in yet.
Exactly, as he's able to drone up quite happily behind this. Demi does have a lair on 2 bases, he's taking all 4 gases. This could go into roach speed, but it's Demi we're talking about. It wouldn't be too surprising to see him throw down a Spire once the lair is done.
Especially on Altitude, which is generally considered to be the best map for Mutaplay. It's very wide open, you get a lot of open space, and quite a bit of dead air as well, funnily enough, that Mutalisk can hide behind if queens get into position, or if too many queens get into position.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see if Demi does go that route. I think we both assume he will, but we have to wait for confirmation. For now, roach speed is in production. So Demi is committing to roaches. At the same time, MeomaikA gets eyes on the 3rd base, and yeah, with that, MeomaikA is just going to be able to extend his lead here. He's going to be able to get into his 3-base saturation, going to be droning. 1-1 is on the way, and that lair.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that MeomaikA has delayed his lair this long. Kind of figured he'd try to go for it a little bit earlier on and just really get Galera Constitution a bit earlier. Maybe go for another, not quite an all-in, but another big push into Demi's side of the map with his roaches. But he's not going all in yet, so he has focused quite a bit more on droning up and quite a bit more on his economy.
Yeah, exactly. And he has gotten away with it. Demi, despite having the faster lair, as we've seen, he hasn't taken up into any kind of weird situation, any kind of weird direction. It's just going to be roaches for the time being for both players, and things are kind of slowing down. MeomaikA, oh god, no! Takes another Baneling to the face. MeomaikA still has an economic lead, so I still will give him the edge. I will give him the advantage, but Demi is, attempting to catch up.
I feel like we need to make a montage of every time this tournament specifically MeomaikA ran headfirst to the Banelings.
It's happened a lot. It's happened like at least 5 times. So
just today.
Oh,
that's not even looking at his past. Or just why we have that saying, you don't want to pull a Meo when you're playing Ling Bane.
I forgot about that. Yeah, we used to have a saying for ZvZs, don't pull a Meo, and that's just taking Banelings to the face. Like, despite, it's really weird because MeomaikA, he has really good control, and he has really meticulous micro when he needs to. But when it comes to Ling Bane, he's sometimes a little bit careless, and yeah, it's not amazing.
Well, MeomaikA understands better than anyone, I guess, that lings are expendable. You don't micro the lings, you just let them do their thing. Micro is for units that deserve it.
Let the lings be free, and yeah, from here, MeomaikA, he can just take on up even further. We have 2-2 on the way for Mia, so very strong 2-2 timings on the horizon. We have a 4th base as well. Things have been quite chill, but here we go. The army does move out across the map. MeomaikA has arrived, and does he have enough to just kill Demi here and now?
Honestly, it's looking pretty likely.
Yeah, the Ravagers have arrived. Biles are being thrown down, but MeomaikA, he is pushing through. No, never mind. The defender's advantage.
Yeah, he is pushed back a little bit, but all he really needs to do right now is to regroup and lick his wounds. Get ready for round 2. I mean, that is a massive supply disparity, army supply disparity at least.
It really is. MeomaikA, he has an insane roach count right now. Demi, he goes for some bailing drops, and he's gonna find some connect. Oh my god!
Massive hits here, taking out almost an entire mineral line. If one more Baneling was in that drop lord, I think that would have been the entire mineral line going down, including the workers mining gas. But alas, 'twas not to be. Demi needs to be very careful though to not poke the bear. I think he does have a couple of spine crawls back home, but he needs to be very careful not to just force MeomaikA into an all-in that I don't think Demi can win.
Yeah, and here we go, MeomaikA. He's going to be taking some Biles to the face, but he's forcing his way up this ramp. An inefficient fight from MeomaikA, but he has an overwhelming roach army. He busts on through, is getting on top of the Ravagers, and it looks like he does have enough here. These ZvZs, they've been going the distance. We have had so many ace matches already, and we're going to be getting another because Demi cannot hold on to this 3rd base. GG gets called.
MeomaikA takes game number 2, tying us up sideways 1-1 in this best of 3 lower bracket finales.
Oh, there we go. We are going to the final game of this lower bracket match. Oh, it is going the distance in the end, and yeah, I will see how this does turn out. Pretty powerful performance here from both players. Again, Demi, he did pay a very large price this game for skipping his Bailey nest when MeomaikA counterattacked across the map with all those lings. Demi, he couldn't hold on to his 3rd. He was contained to 2 bases for too long, and MeomaikA got away with so much greed with such a powerful economy.
Yeah. That's the thing about MeomaikA, right? Just when you think he's gonna go do something, he does something else. And when you think he's gonna do something else, he does something different. And when you think he's gonna do something different, he does something unexpected. And when you think he's gonna do something unexpected, he does something subversive. And when you think he's gonna do something subversive, he does something that is...
Did you run out of words?
Not thought of.
Unique?
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
Special.
Special. Juanito. There you
Juanito.
go.
He just phones up Juan. Asked him
MeomaikA,
to throw some weights at his opponent.
as you were saying, MeomaikA is a really unpredictable player. He's a very unpredictable player.
He does something unpredictable, yes!
Can be really difficult to read as well, so we saw that firsthand, and now we're getting into the ace match, the final game of this series.
Indeed, and what better map to end it on than Royal Blood, where we're here in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner on top of Magic Carpet. Look at it, it's like, it actually looks really low quality. It's like fraying at the end. This is the Royal Carpet.
I think that's aesthetic. I think the frays are they're intentional. Yeah.
Well, even then, I mean, the stitching looks very rough. I mean, that does not look like a very fine fabric.
Oh my god! You have such high standards for carpets. Jesus.
Look at that stitching. I expect it to be high when it's royal and when it's bleeding. You know? This isn't like that time I bought an Afghan for way too much because I got strict. Anyway, we have our Red Zerg player coming out from the land of India. representing Maturino Esports. He is a shock himself. He is Demi.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Vietnamese Zerg player representing Team Gosu. Last King of the Sea, tying up the series 1-1 in the last game. It is MeomaikA.
And you can see the individual threads in the carpet.
I think the problem is it does look like
fabric.
It does look like the threads are like lower quality, like pixel wise, compared to the carpet itself, right? Like it's weird, right? Like it just stands out.
I think that was intentional.
Yeah.
By the map maker.
Oh.
It was, I don't remember who made Royal Blood. I know it wasn't Mara's, because otherwise this map would be named after a Nightwish song.
True.
I don't think it was Avex.
Yeah, he hasn't made a map in a long time.
He hasn't made a map in a long time, yeah. I don't think it was
Superman?
-0. It might be Superhuman, yeah. Maybe it's Superhuman.
Maybe.
I don't think it's -0 because it's not, you know. What's another word for gimmick? Because it's not unique enough. It's not unique enough.
Oh my god!
So I don't think it was -0 because it's not the map isn't unique enough.
Map makers are catching strays, Bobby. Calm down. Jesus. Oh boy. As we have a really interesting opener here, we do see Demi going for a hatch gas pull into his third base on time, on location. Mio actually went for a gas first opener, and we see why. It was gas into a hatchery, into a spawning pool. He had much more gas, much more quickly. I was wondering what the purpose was for, and we can see it's for a roach rush.
Very, very early on. So getting link speed. Because if you don't get link speed, you are kind of boned regardless in the ZvZ matchup, you know. Another little advantage here is that it also does tell a bit of a story here to Demi that, you know, things are going to be pretty normal for the time being at any rate.
Yeah, exactly. Like, everything that Demi sees is pretty normal, but he didn't get into the main base. He doesn't quite know what is going on. And Demi is actually making a flood of Lings himself. So Demi's going Ling Bane against Ling Roach. The Roaches are just now in production for MeomaikA. Can he get enough momentum before they come out, though?
Well, we'll see. There are a lot of Lings here for Demi, and if he can actually isolate the Roaches of MeomaikA, eventually when the Roaches rock up, if he's able to isolate them and surround them, then I don't think Mio will be able to do much. Mio pulling another Mio here.
He did pull a Mio. Yeah, it did happen. Again. Yeah. But the Roaches are arriving, and the Roaches, they can afford to take some banelings to the face as they're being spotted by the overlords of Demi. He does throw down his own Roach Horn as well. Can Demi buy enough time? Can he actually make any defensive Roaches in time? As MeomaikA is mustering up this army and throwing down another baneling nest. He isn't droning, by the way. MeomaikA still very all in.
Yeah. He's all in until he isn't, and it looks like he's never going to be not all in.
Exactly. He is biding his time, though. He's kind of consolidating his army. He's waiting for more reinforcements. He is giving Demi a lot of time. Demi's droning, by the way. The drones are really not what we need right now.
Oof. That is absolutely insane coming out from Demi right now, but he's feeling very confident in his positioning. He's feeling very confident in his link count. Banelings do connect on the majority of the Lings, but not enough of them, as one Baneling of MeomaikA will finish. Will connect with the banelings of Demi. Things were looking very dicey for these Roaches of MeomaikA as they were all getting surrounded, but in the end they were able to survive. They will be able to bust through.
Yeah, one baneling is all it. So we do see Roaches on the way here for Demi, but they're getting surrounded immediately as soon as they pop out. Very efficient trades here from MeomaikA. He's looking for a surround, and it looks like he will get one onto these Roaches.
Yeah, and that's all he really needs right now. Demi, he doesn't have the time to make another baneling. GG is called, and MeomaikA will get vengeance from the earlier round. He will prove he's still the king of C, and he will... Get the GG. Thank you, phone.
Did you just cut
Get the
yourself
GG.
off?
It wasn't intentional.
Okay.
He will get the win, and he will face Go-Go Joey in the grand finals.
GG, well played. Again, a very well hidden all-in from MeomaikA. Unfortunately, Demi, he did misread the situation. We saw him droning a little bit too much. Despite that, he almost had a really good engagement. As we saw, he was able to trade very efficiently with his Bailings, but did take a Bailing hit himself as well. He didn't have any spine crawlers. Again, he just wasn't taking that all-in seriously enough, or just wasn't aware of how committed MeomaikA was, and in the end, GG gets called. MeomaikA will take the series, and he advances on to face off against Go-Go Joey. A bit of a blast from the past. We've seen them face off in the finals many times.
Arguably too many times in the past, at least according to them as well. Too many times, which is why we saw them oftentimes off race towards the end of the first round of Grand Platypus Open, before we put GPO on hiatus. But now, yeah, like I said, we're getting that blast from the past, and we're gonna get a bit of nostalgia, I think.
I think so as well.